And away we go. Welcome to NerdgangOG. Today I'll be hosting with my Justice League, my Avengers, my group of merry men, and Wonder Woman. Later I'm going to give us a sneak peek at the Royal Rumble and what's going on in the comic world. But for now, let's tune in to Mr. Kirk Kilroy Livingston with his overview of Snowpiercer.
Thanks. Snowpiercer is going to be starting their second season tomorrow night. They think they kick off around 9 o'clock on TNT. And it's a pretty good sci-fi show. If you're a huge fan of dystopian sci-fi, I definitely recommend you check it out. Just to give you a quick overview of what happened in the first season. Basically, Snowpiercer is a train that's 1,001 cars long that circumnavigates the Earth. And what happened was the scientists of the time tried to cool the warming Earth down, and they did a little too good a job. They ended up freezing the Earth to the core. So no life can exist outside of the Snowpiercer. And right now, it's kind of the last bastion of life and humanity on the Earth. Our story picks up 7 years after the deep freeze happens, when everybody goes full steam ahead. And that's when the things start to go off the rails. Basically, there's class warfare going on the train, with the people in the first class living pretty charmed lives, and the people in the tail barely getting enough supplies to survive. We start with our hero going through and planning a revolution, and ends up being pulled out of the tail section where they live to solve a murder. And that's kind of where it kicks off.
Awesome. Hey, question for you.
Sure.
What is the name of the lead role?
Leighton.
Leighton. And who plays him?
I don't remember his name, but he was actually in Hamilton and quite a few other things.
Gotcha. There was another thing I wanted to ask you real quick, and then I'll open it up to the rest of the guys. You had said that this was I want to say dysfunctional, but it wasn't the word that I wanted
Dystopian.
to say. Dystopian. Can you fill us in? What does dystopian mean?
Basically, it's a world that's kind of gone to hell. It's not very nice to live in.
Gotcha. Almost like...
Well, think Blade Runner, think...
Mad Max.
Hunger Games.
There you go.
Philadelphia.
Hey! Nice. Hey, Jace, you got any rando facts for us?
So today is National Beer Can Appreciation Day. It started in 1935 with the good people at the Kruger's Brewery in New Jersey. The first beer can appeared. Then it went away until 1962 due to war rationing for World War II. And then it made its triumphant return in 1962 to the present, an everyday commodity in most people's lives. The canned beverage, a little bit of the adult beverage. And I'm not sure if the brewery was on Elm Street or they were relatives of the great Freddy Krueger. But a shout out to the good people at the Kruger's Brewery for having the foresight to can up some adult beverage. And with that, I will turn it over to Adrian. Pass the mic, Adrian.
Why, thank you, Jason. And I'm Adrian, and I'm going to talk to you about WandaVision and also the upcoming releases that have been moved. For example, like No Time to Die, and also even down to A Quiet Place 2 was just moved. So let's start with WandaVision. WandaVision is now in the third episode, and I am about to predict that we're going to get our bunkers moment in between episode 4 and 5. So it's like going to be a cliffhanger and to pull us in, and then. So, speaking of WandaVision, Wanda's not in a good place. it may look like a sitcom, and she's having a great time. She's even in the last episode, she had twins, and so it's going to be, I think it's going to be the episode 4 is where it's going to suck us right in, because people have been saying and complaining about how slow burn it is, but if you actually pay attention to like the little tiny details that they're throwing in, even down to the commercials. And I'm seeing theories online about how the commercials are even down to the trauma that Wanda has gone through. And so the idea that the writing of this show is supposed to be a slow burn because it's 9 episodes and that's all we're going to get. And we have to get these little tiny details coming, given to us. Because as I said, episodes 4 and 5 is where it's going to turn and it's going to go off the rails bonkers. So, anywho. And then now with the big screen, well, there's some couple of moves that happened within the last 2 weeks. For the big one is No Time to Die. Now, with No Time to Die, this has had 5, I repeat, 5 release dates. Well, first one was February 2020, and that was actually just because of a writer conflict with Danny Boyle, so they pushed it to April 10th, 2020. What happened a month before this? COVID happened. So everything started snowballing from there. November 25th, 2020, COVID numbers are not getting any better. Theaters aren't opening. And then also, so it got moved to April 2021, which hasn't happened yet. And they're already saying, no, we're moving it now to October 8th, 2021. So this is a start where Sony actually said that they are not releasing anything in 2020. And now it seems like it's going to be 2021 where Sony may be actually bumping everything, because why can't, for example, Morbius was also removed. I mean, that's had 4 release dates. And then also Uncharted has had 4 release dates. So if you put it, in perspective, everything is snowballing down to even into 2022, 2023, because of the fact that they need the theaters open for these blockbusters to actually make money.
So, Adrian, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How much would it really take, just to recoup the overall film costs associated with, say, No Time to Die to this point to where they would turn $1? Is that why they can't why don't they just send it to streaming, that they have to release it? Like you said, they have to release a blockbuster into the movie theaters.
That's a good point, because, well, guess what? No Time to Die is the highest James Bond movie with the production budget of $250 million. Yes, right there. But when you actually go into gross, you have to actually think, okay, that's $250 million. Okay, they can make that in 2 weekends, possibly, or even way back before COVID, pre-COVID. I mean, globally, they can possibly do that. But now with the theaters only partially opened, and even the seating capacities being at 10%, 20%, and that will not make $250 million. Let alone that when you actually do a movie for $250 million, you have to actually double that to actually turn that dollar, because of the fact that you have to throw in advertising, trailers. So when you actually start seeing a movie being released, it's probably about a good month and a half when you actually are going to start seeing like the final trailers or the trailers coming out, because they're trying to plug their movie that's coming out. So they're not going to throw in that extra money for the advertising cost and whatnot until they know when a movie is going to be released, because that takes money to actually put that out, full steam. So pretty much they're going to have to start turning 500. It has to make 500 to 600 million to actually make their money back. So what streaming site is actually going to throw out $600 million just to say, we want you on our service? They can't do that.
Yeah, no, definitely, especially not Netflix. Even with all the money they've made during COVID, before COVID, they were $40 billion in debt. There's no way that they could recoup that money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, this is half the Mega Millions ticket. So, I mean, it's ridiculous amount of money. So there's other movies that are being moved. Quiet Place 2 got moved again. As I said, that's had 4 release dates. And then we also have Top Gun Maverick was also moved again too. So that was an old news, but it's the fact that now we are getting excited because what's happening today? We're getting a Godzilla and Kong trailer. Oh yes, meaning it is going to be released in March. It's actually the release date is both theater and HBO Max. But it's 3/20. It's March 26, 2021. So that's what I'm saying is about a month to 2 months before they're going to start plugging these movies away because it takes money, and they're not going to stop again, waste more money on advertising and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much the scoop on the new releases and what's going to happen. I've actually became numb to the actual fact of, we're going to release this movie on this date. Until I actually see that movie in my theater that I work at, I don't believe it. But that's pretty much it.
I think we have a couple questions for you.
You have a couple? Okay.
Yeah. I think I do. But does anybody else have anything that they want to ask her beforehand?
Hopefully the release date of Godzilla and Kong does stay there, because they're banking on their stuff opening back up and being able to stay back open, and they're going to be able to corner the market because that'll be the big movie in the theaters.
I'm just going to say that Wonder Woman did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and on top of which, I believe that with the Wonder Woman model, it was HBO Max until I think it's January 27th, and then it's going to be full theaters. But so I mean, it's the idea that we need, especially with No Time to Die, they need almost 100% theaters open with 100% capacity to make even close to the numbers that they need. Because in the beginning, this was an easy $1 billion film. And now they're just saying, how are we going to get our money back? So easily, globally, No Time to Die should have made $1 billion to $1.5 billion pre-COVID. Easy.
Crazy.
I mean, is this going to change the industry to the point where movies are going to actually suffer with quantity or quality because they're not going to be pushing out those big budgeted movies anymore, and because of the fact of how much they're going to possibly lose. So, but yeah, it's streaming sites. They wouldn't even touch No Time to Die because it would be way too expensive.
Hey, just real quick, WandaVision is like crazy, man. Like I think, like honestly, I'm on episode 3. I didn't think episode 3 was definitely not as slow as the first 2. And you think that it's all in Wanda, but I don't know if you saw, like, when Vision huddled up with the neighbors there.
Whoa. Spoilers, dude. There's people that still haven't watched this yet.
Okay.
Are there people in this group that haven't watched it yet? Or just you? Okay.
Well, whose fault's that then?
That's why I was trying to keep it very generalized, saying it's going to be bonkers.
There's other nerd-related things out there that we're watching. Some of us are still preparing and rewatching season 10 of The Walking Dead because the season 10 extension is coming out in a couple of weeks.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
I finally just got to watch the second season of The Boys like a month ago.
Oh, you poor soul.
Oh, it was awesome, though.
That end scene.
Jason,
That
you're
courthouse
laid
scene.
off.
Oh, my.
You got caught up by now. So we're not allowed to spoil. Let's move on to something else. Maybe, I don't know, sports, since you got that big Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Battle of the Bay.
Go back!
Okay, Dan, take it away, buddy.
Sure. So I'm Dan Allen, a.k.a. Mr. Pectacular. Typically, I'll talk about anime on here, but for this week, because I am a huge Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, always have been. I still do hate Tom Brady, that's a note. But I still would like to see them get to the big game. They haven't been there since 2002, and they won it then. So I'm going to primarily break down the two conference games today. So we got the Buccaneers versus the Packers, the Battle of the Bays. The Bucs, the last time they were in the playoffs was 2007. Like I said, last big game appearance was 2002, and they won it. The only major out today for the Bucs would be Antonio Brown. So for the Packers, we're looking at a couple cornerbacks, defensive tackles. So their defense is kind of riddled with some outs. Their O-line a little bit. Last time the Packers were in the playoffs was 19. They made it to the division game and the conference championships in 2016. Last time they made a big game appearance was 2010. So I'm going to pause real quick, and I'm going to ask my my fellow nerds, who are you picking today for this game?
I have to root for the Packers.
All right. Jason Beam?
No, I'm with you, man. I like Tampa Bay. I almost said Adrian Brown. Antonio Brown is out for the day, and I would like to see Tom Brady get another ring. Just so he can retire.
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that's what the
Go ahead,
holdup is.
Okay.
All right.
He needs
Sacrifice.
He needs to prove that he is, not Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Okay.
Kurt?
I'm thinking it's going to be the Packers.
Jason Chenoweth?
I think the Packers probably have the better team, but I got to go with Tampa Bay. Tom Brady's proven he can win it. Aaron Rodgers has won one NFC championship game, so he is effectively just as good a quarterback at this point as Donovan McNabb. I'm going to go with the Bucs.
Ooh. All right. So we got a 3-2. So we will find out next week. Spoiler alert! Not next week. In 2 weeks, we will be doing a big game show. It'll be episode 3 for the Nerd Gang, and it's going to be about the big game. So we'll be prepared for that. So you guys definitely watch out for that one, and we will discuss the games today then prior to the big game.
Got that most important question.
What's that?
Where are my Buccaneers?
Oh, they're under my bucking hat. All right.
You only get $1. I hope so.
All right. So on the other side, we got the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Bills were in the wild card 1917, and then before that, not before 1999. Their last big game appearance was 1993. So this has been a significant season for them. They have been killing it. Their quarterback just literally grew into his legs this year, and he has been fantastic. Chiefs, obviously, they won the big game in 2019. Another one of our founding members, Jamie Kentrillo, is a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan, so I'm sure I know who he'll be rooting for. And There's a couple outs today for the Bills. No outs, two questionables. You got Vernon Butler and Gabriel Davis. So nothing significant. You do have Willie Gay out though for the Kansas City Chiefs. With that being said, I definitely think it's going to be the Bills today. I think. What does everybody else think? Adrian?
Well, I lived in Western New York for about 11 years, so I grew a nice little soft spot for the Bills. I mean, especially watching them lose 4 times in a row in the 90s. You kind of want to root for the in their big game 4 times in the 90s, and you kind of want to root for them. So I'm going to go for the Bills today, and yeah.
All right, Jason Beam.
So I put the phone over my face because I had to ask Google a question. I don't know if you knew this, but here's a little update as we were speaking there. The Bills, they just called up Scott Norwood again, and so they're going to choke, and Kansas City gets the win.
Dude, no, that's messed up. You know, I'm actually related to him.
I believe that.
No, my grandfather is their family is the Norwoods. I'm related to him, and that's messed up.
You know what's messed up? When he missed the kicks. That was messed up.
I know. Well, the fun fact, you know that's the character they used when they came up with the Ray Finkel character for the original Ace Ventura movie, was that kick.
No, I didn't know that.
That's a fun fact. The Ray Finkel character literally was based on Scott Norwood.
I think it's awesome that you're related to him though, because now I might have to call you the lonesome kicker instead of Mr.
This is out.
Hey, as much as I would like the Bills to win, I think Kansas City got it. Sorry.
They are a very tough team, and they got a lot of weapons. Kurt?
I'm going with the Bills. I think they're just going to pull this one out.
All right. Jason Chenoweth?
Laces out, you bum, Marino. I think with the healthy Mahomes, that offense, I mean, the Bills had a decent defense. They had a better defense, I think, in the past than they do this year. They do have the one Edmonds brother that's not a statue in a defensive position. But I still think with Kansas City's overall package, I got to go with the Chiefs.
All right, so we got 3 Bills, 2 Chiefs. We'll keep an eye on that, and again, we'll update and talk about this before the big game in 2 weeks, and during our big game episode. And so, with that being said, NHL season started about 11 days ago. So, Jason Chenoweth, why don't you throw us some of those trades, and then we can talk about the COVID updates.
Yeah, the biggest thing going right now, there was one big trade made earlier in the week that sent Pierre-Luc Dubois. He will be leaving the Columbus Blue Jackets, headed to I don't know why anybody would want to go there, but Winnipeg Jets. I guess the scenery must be great and taxes.
I hear the weather's good.
And then in the Blue Jackets received back in that trade Patrick Lane and Jack Restovic. Basically, the two teams traded 3 players, and they didn't affect their salary caps at all. Basically, they were just trying to make a strategery move to bolster some lines. Like I said, there's 1 year of control. The Blue Jackets gain over Patrick Lane that they would have lost with Luc Dubois being a free agent at the end of the season. But other than that, that's the big news.
Really, there's been so many games that have been canceled due to players having COVID and stuff, and it's really just at this point, the only undefeated team left is the Florida Panthers, but they had a couple games canceled, so they're 2-0. Lightning were undefeated until yesterday. Damn CBJ, hate them to death. Um, so we will continue throughout the season to keep you updated. I definitely do like the format with the 2 games for now. Definitely seeing teams playing their heart out. Definitely seeing Dallas with that anger from losing last season, losing the Stanley Cup, and then they're really hammering on teams like 1-7, 0-7. Like they definitely want to get back to Lord Stanley's Cup.
Interestingly enough, 4 members of the Capitals, while in Pittsburgh, were suspended for 4 games for playing a pretty unassuming game of poker in their hotel room while on their road trip. So that in a shortened season, a 4-game suspension between, I believe it was Alexander Ovechkin and his 3 Russian teammates that are on the Capitals. So pretty substantial hit to the Capitals in a COVID shortened season.
Yeah, now, can they take those suspensions intermittently, or they have to do the 4 games right off the bat?
No, they're serving them right now. All
That's
4
fine.
of them.
You know what? That's fine. Fuck the Caps.
There's our
HR!
Dan, there's your one.
You know what? I'm okay with this. This news is fantastic, and I'm so happy for that Pittsburgh Penguins fan to call that in.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We need to give him a day. Give him a day.
Yeah.
Hey, before we move on or anything like that, Jace, just real quick, what kind of poker were they playing? Since we are from the kind of close to Pittsburgh area, were they playing 7-card stud, or were they playing?
Well, I hope it wasn't strip poker. I have no idea. The closest thing I've seen to a poker game in Pittsburgh between hockey players is probably Yarmer Yager flying up the parkway in a Conquest TSI. It said Yarmer on it, and I'm pretty sure there were people looking for him to pay off some debts.
Wow.
What a hockey season.
And is there news that like the NHL may need to find a new home to televise in the next year after 2021? So I heard that the NBC Sports Network is going bye-bye. So even the English Premier League and whatnot. But I heard, guess what? It's going to Peacock. That's that name. And it's going to be part of their packages on there, I believe. So
another streaming service we have to buy.
Yeah,
I think some of the games are going to be on USA also.
Okay.
that's right. And speaking of that, with hockey going bye-bye off NBC and moving over to USA, that leaves NXT, the only true sport that isn't fixed these days, professional wrestling. That leaves it to try and find a new home, possibly, or a different time. So with that being said, I'm just going to give you a little rundown of what's happening today with WWE and AEW and Impact. I don't know. Dan, you said you haven't been watching this in a while. Shame on you, and Adrian, you haven't watched it since Hulk Hogan had muscles. Hey, maybe he'll hear it and give us a shout out. Anyway, so Jason and I, we're going to be having a little Royal Rumble segment coming up here next week before the Rumble hits. List of all the names that are going to be in it, the male and the female Royal Rumble, plus all the other matches that are going on. Basically, Jace, on Raw, they've been just previewing it. Drew McIntyre has had COVID, actually, and he had to take a couple weeks off. He is going to face Bill Goldberg. There's been a lot of buildup of that. I think the stars right now, though, on WWE are the ladies. I mean, they're killing it. It's fantastic. What was once like just a show of women parts is now like, hey, like we can get it on. Like it's great. Should I have said that? Yeah, well, maybe HR. Yeah, I gotcha. I don't mean it that way, but like, no, they get it done. And they're building their characters and they're building their shows. So WWE right now, what's got my attention is watching the ladies. I mean, it is something special.
So it's beneficial for me to start watching again.
Yeah.
I like the dynamic that's going on right now with Lacey Evans, Ric Flair, and Charlotte Flair.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Like it brings Ric Flair back. I mean, you have that little bit of nostalgia, and Charlotte Flair is wonderful.
Well, I think it's going to help turn her to a baby face too, get her more away from the heel aspect of it, so she gains popularity across a wider region.
And AEW right now, they're still in it. It's great to watch this show. The only bad thing I have to say about it is their coordination. It looks like, with their promos, they start off great. The matches are very choppy. They're so good. They have so many talents, and I think that's why they're bringing in like guys like Sting and Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. It's really they're doing this to build the show. I think it's just going to help them build the show. I don't think it's going to be, the Sting show, so to say, like everybody I think is projecting, but I don't think so. I think he's just helping build characters. Jake Roberts is there. Taz is there. Jim Ross calling it, Tony Schiavone. They got the two best announcers in the world, and it's helping, but it's not quite there in the middle. At the end, it's great. Like whatever happens at the end and whatever happens in the beginning is awesome. It's just that match it's in between. It's almost
the reason I stopped watching. So I stopped watching WWE a while ago because they kept recycling. I mean, it's they get to the point where they start recycling storylines and it gets just really stupid. But ever since AEW came out, I'm all about it. You and I went to that AEW show in Pittsburgh. That was fantastic. And that that first year that they climbed on the back of Le Champion Chris Jericho, but he took him to the promised land. People started watching. Their numbers were better than NXT for a while, but it got to be, and I've complained about this on my socials, the fact that I'm so sick and tired of hearing people or watching people and then hearing the announcers call out suicide dives because there's 35 a match. The Tope Suicina, Tope Gonhiro. The matches started good and ended good, but throughout the matches, it was spot monkey. Everybody was doing spots. And that's why I can't watch it when it's like that. I like old school wrestling matches. Tully Blanchard in his prime. It's like watching a story play out the whole match. Now it's like spot, drop kick, 350 super kicks, which used to be a devastating finisher for Shawn Michaels, and now it's like the Bucks do 300 a match.
And you know what, Dan? That's basically what I was getting at. I totally agree with you. How many people can take two pile drivers in a match and still continue to win?
Exactly.
Bully Ray said it best on his podcast with Dave LaGreca. Actually, it's Dave LaGreca's podcast, where he said Road Warrior Hawk was like the only person because he flexed his neck so bad he could bust his dog collar, and he took a pile driver and he got right back up from it. So when he got right back up from it, it sold it because he had neck muscles. He goes, now you got a guy that's like 175 pounds taking two of them, and it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't show. Well, it takes away. The cred is taken away. So I see where you're coming from. One thing I did want to bring up, you guys brought up Chris Jericho and where this is going. Kenny Omega I don't know if you guys know this or not, but they've been merging slowly with Impact Wrestling. I don't think it's a complete merger, but they're going to be a working partnership.
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised if New Japan involved a little bit more on the TV aspect, and I think that that's going to be a great thing. And do we see the beginning of territories again? Maybe.
maybe. I mean, in the beginning, AEW was doing talent sharing with New Japan. Like they've always had that talent sharing thing. Bringing in Impact, because at one point Impact started becoming like one of the betters. I mean, for a long time it was such garbage. It really was. They couldn't keep talent. It just, the storylines were trash. It's like they hired Vince Russo again. But no, it's, I mean, I do want to pick it back up. I wanted to pick it back up after Brody Lee passed, just to watch like the in memoriam show and listen to all like the wrestlers talk about him. But it just, I don't know, it seemed to me that after Jericho lost the title, it just went downhill for me. I mean, him holding the title and Ambrose chasing it was fantastic.
Well, one thing I got to say is about that is I think the Jericho, the whole dynamic there, because right now you got Jericho and MJF just got done wrestling Santana and Ortiz and Jack Hager and Sammy Guevara to see who was going to. So I think they're trying to set up Jericho because Jericho and MJF won the match. I think they're trying to set those two on a collision course for a tag champion and try to get some other storylines and some of the other talent promoted up through and give them shots, and albeit deserving shots at the belt, like Darby Allin and Sting. You know, they're playing that off. Now you drag in Taz and his faction that are going to be going to war with them. I mean, Hangman Adam Page. I mean, they're starting to really develop the guys that at first were periphery and starting to push Jericho and, the Nightmare and everybody a little off to the edge to try to get to build the brand up a little bit better.
No, I agree, but to me, that tournament that they had back in December, like you see Omega and Cowboy splitting up, it's going to end up being them in the finals. Why even do the damn tournament? Like I started watching it and I'm just like, why even do the tournament when it's just going to end up being old partner versus old partner, one went face, one went heel. Like, to me, it was just like they were recycling WWE storylines.
Hey, even the Mulkey brothers had their moment of glory against the Road Warriors, bud.
All right. Jason, I know you wanted to, at least dive in just a tiny bit on the Rumble. Do you want to kind of like because I haven't watched in over 2.5 months, like who are like some of your favorites that are coming into the Rumble?
Which Jason?
I'm sorry, Jason Beam.
Oh, well, Daniel Bryan's coming back in. He's been on the mic a lot lately. I don't know if they're setting him up because I think he's taking a lesser role. So I believe the other part of the square, Jason, is picking Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're finally gonna toss Daniel Bryan a bone and let him get his Royal Rumble victory that has eluded him to this point.
I actually think Cesaro has a chance because they've been really building him up with these Royal Rumbles, or he's going to be the first one eliminated.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they've given him pushes like throughout his career, but then it goes from being cool to campy. Every time they've tagged him up with somebody, it goes from being like really good, powerful team. He's a strong dude. He's the strongest dude for his size in wrestling. And he's super talented and he's been trained by the best, but they just end up making him a campy character. And I don't like that.
No, I agree with you, but I just think that when he did the whole like James Bond thing, like it seemed like it was going. Everybody loves Cesaro, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. And there is no real good guy or bad guy right now in WWE because they don't have an audience. So it is like it's a popularity contest right now. And that makes it tough. It really does make it tough. So I mean, I pick Cesaro. I like to see Cesaro win. He deserves it. Or Dolph Ziggler.
You know what? I love to hate him. Like throughout his career, I love to hate him. I definitely think he could definitely use a shot at a title. I mean, they've given him like the mid-card title so many times. He plays heel good, he plays face good. I mean, and for his age and his everything, he has the most there was an adult story with him and the chick that played Sonny, and she she did say his stamina is unbelievable and unmatchable. So ooh. But yeah, I could definitely get behind Dolph Ziggler.
So let's wrap this up, guys. What do you think? Have we talked long enough? Kurt?
Yeah.
I'd say, the Royal Rumble show, I think we do the surprise, for that one, who do you think's going to be the surprise entrance? Because every year they have the surprise. And hell, the one year Mick Foley wrestled as 3 different people.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. That was one of the best ones ever.
How you doing down there, Kurt?
What?
How you doing down there, Kurt? Good?
Good.
There goes the shoulder.
So I believe you're keeping us in the dark here, Jason Beam, about some super surprise topic that you wanted to talk about, and I'm intrigued. So go for it.
All right, guys. So just briefly, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Memes. What's the best meme you've seen in the past 2 weeks?
The 480,000 versions of the Bernie meme. They put him in every movie, every circumstance, with every actor. One of my favorite ones was seeing him sitting in a swing beside Alexa Bliss when she's doing the swing thing in the middle of the ring with the purple lights.
So we all agreeing that it's the Bernie meme. This?
No, I think she's a pure meme. I just thought she.
Uh-oh. Adrian's posturing.
Oh no, I like it.
She was doing the Bernie.
I don't have the mittens, so I was like.
No. She was posturing like Bernie.
So I saw one where he was giving somebody a pile driver. I couldn't even tell who it was, but I thought that was the best meme.
I thought that was gonna. I was actually gonna put Bernie in the backdrop somewhere. I was like, but I don't have the time. I was in an electrical fire, so we're not gonna worry about that today.
Kurt?
But yeah.
The Bernie ones are pretty good.
But yeah, you got one?
It's not really suitable.
Ooh.
It is PG-13 show.
Perfect.
We are PG-13.
You have one F-bomb.
He already said it. And then you throw something in like that, it's rated R.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We all as a collective group can't say it? Or I thought we all got one.
No, you get one a show.
One a show, bud.
Thanks, Dan.
Listen, I was good last show. Somebody else can have it next show.
Yeah, but if you bring up hockey, you're supposed to say what the puck, not
puck.
You replace that word puck.
Yes, I was a puck.
Shut the front door.
All right, so
Shut the.
So we agree it's the Bernie meme for this last 2 weeks.
It's the Bernie meme.
Oh yeah, and I'm not getting sick of them. There's just, I'm not getting sick of them. So.
And in closing, anybody else have anything to say?
Go Bucks.
Go Bills.
Go watch our show. Go to our.
Yes, let's go to our socials. They're going to be up on the screen right now. Please take a look, like, share, tell your friends, ask them to like and share.
Comment.
Let's get this out here. I mean, we're tweeting, we're Instagramming, we're Facebooking, our videos are up on YouTube.
There it was. The 400.
Our videos are up on YouTube. The first episode of the Nerd Gang OG, and I believe Kurt and I have our first episode of two guys reviewing stuff, reviewing Letterkenny season 9. Go watch it. Definitely filled with spoilers. So if you haven't watched season 9, watch it. Then watch the video. Adrian, do you have some shows coming up? And you have some.
I do. I'm probably gonna have a WandaVision episodes 1 through 3 because it seems like it's like that's like a kind of like where the story is like kind of arcing,
Okay.
and then 4 to 6 would actually give us another chunk of storylines, and then it's going to be 7 through 9 is going to be the finale part. So I'm going to break I'm going to break down WandaVision by 3 episodes. Unless something really, 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 really bonkers happens, there might be a special video. I also have something coming up. Last week I got my very first snack crate. So I opened it up and it was a mystery box. So I'm not going to tell you what country it is, but it's going to be up there probably within the next, either the next day or two. So it's actually, it's comical because I try to pronounce words that I was just not having fun with. So, but everything, pretty much 90% of the snack crate was delicious because it was junk food. And I love junk food, baked goods, whatnot. So nice. I have a segment called Adrian Gets a Snack. So it could be a snack crate or it could just be something I whipped up and baked. So
nice. We're plugging that right now. Watch Adrian eat snacks.
You guys watch it all the time, so why not?
You ate the whole box?
What's that?
You ate the whole box?
Yeah.
And then this week, everybody watch out. Should be the day or so after this episode comes out. Kurt and I are going to be doing another two guys reviewing stuff. We're going to be taking a look at the 2011, the anime version of the Wolverine. The story picks up when Logan is like much younger, and it kind of follows the story of him losing the love of his life. So, and I know Jason and Jason. So Jason squared circle. Is that what you're going to call it?
The Jason squared circle.
These two fine gentlemen will be doing your Royal Rumble video. So definitely watch out for that. And we're doing this for you guys. We love being nerds. We know you're nerds. If you have any questions, comments, add them at the bottom of the YouTube video. Email us. At the end of this video, we're going to do a nice little in memoriam for the nerds that died in the last month. Obviously, we couldn't hit all of them, but we did hit some big ones. If we did miss one that you'd like us to shout out for February, just go ahead and let us know. Mr. Beam.
And thanks, everybody. I just wanted to say, if you have a favorite meme, go ahead and email us at our email site that's listed below.
And if we like it, we'll go ahead and put it on our Instagram and our Facebook and our Twitter page.
So show us your memes.
Yes, show us your memes.
And in closing, thanks. Stay safe, stay healthy. I think that's it. Anybody else have anything to say?
Excelsior?
Is that patented?
I don't think so.
Okay. So on behalf of the Nerd Gang, guys, take it easy and check us out. We'll be putting everything out here for you in the next couple days, and take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.